This is my brother Theodore. He's kicking a soccer ball into the net for the movement today. All of three of Newton's laws are applied while kicking a soccer ball. The first law is applied to the ball. The ball will stay at rest until Theodore's foot comes in contact with it to move it. The second law is applied by the kick. The harder Theodore kicks the ball, the faster the ball will travel in the air to go into the net. And Newton's third law is applied in two locations. The left foot is pushing down on the grass, and the ground is pushing back up on the foot. And the right foot is kicking on the ball, and the ball is putting force back into the foot. The base of support is small while kicking the ball. He is only on the left foot while the right foot makes contact and kicks the ball into the net. After the kick, he is in aerial phase, and there is no base of support since both feet are off the ground for a couple of seconds. His center of gravity before he kicks the ball is near his belly button height and slightly shifted backward since his leg is behind him. After the ball is kicked and his right leg moves to the front of his body, the center of gravity shifts a little higher and in his torso and forward. The joint I focused on was the hip joint. This is where the acetabulum of the pelvis and the femoral head articulate. The hip is a synovial ball and socket joint. It has 3 degrees of freedom. The hip can move in flexion and extension, adduction and abduction, and internal and external rotation. An oblique plane is an axis are seen while Theodore kicks the soccer ball into the net. The right leg moves posterior and anterior while also crossing over the body during the anterior movement. Approximate range of motion of his right hip is 0 to 70 degrees extension, and approximate range of motion during flexion of the right hip is 0 to 110 degrees. Approximate muscle strength needed to complete this movement is a 5 out of 5, which is normal muscle movement of the leg. Friction is increased while Theodore's foot is planted in the grass. Since it was a sunny day, the grass was dry to allow for there to be greater friction between the ground and his gym shoe. Friction could be decreased if the grass was wet. This would cause the grass in the bottom of the shoe to have less friction due to the water present. The simple machine seen is a lever. The hip is used as a third-class lever, meaning the effort is between the axis and resistance. The resistance is the foot kicking the ball. The effort is the quad muscles above the knee, and the axis is the hip joint. OT interventions I would have for Theodore are education, mostly on ACL tears, since that's very common in the sport of soccer.